Are we working? We are.
Sounds good.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Adam.
Thank you, Joe. Good to be here.
Look, I just want to start by saying how thrilled we are that you're joining us today. And I know it was all very last minute. You're in the middle of your half-year results. So we do appreciate the effort. And also, Adam's come with his colleague, Jeff McCormack, who's over there, Bunnings' new head of government relations. So, Jeff, thank you as well for making the trip. It was a very early start, I know. And I do just want to acknowledge Robert Chin, who is a stalwart attendee of our conferences and has been here the whole time. So I think it's important that we also say hi to Robert. So look, we're really thrilled to be able to give you an update, especially having Adam here, because he and I have got to know each other quite well in recent months in particular. And as you all know, GIA has been pressing Bunnings for more certainty, more commercial certainty to be expressed about the way they work with you as their suppliers. And we have actually been meeting and engaging to talk about that topic for almost a year. But at Christmas time, both our organisations agreed that there would be great value and opportunity in actually really intensifying those discussions and working on something jointly together to present to you as the Greenlife industry. So that's how Adam and I have got to know each other quite well, because we have met a lot. And hours and hours. We've both been on planes and on the phone and on email at all times of day and night. And there have been, I think it's fair to say, some frank and fearless conversations, but generally extremely productive, and we feel really good about where we've got to, which is why I'm so thrilled that Adam was able to make the trip to give you a bit of an update. So I'm going to hand over to Adam in a minute, but just wanted to let you know that he will tell you we're 90% there, but there's still 10% to go. And we paused meeting this week because guess what? We had a conference to do. Adam and his team have been really busy with half-year results. But we'll be back talking from Monday, well, maybe not Monday, Tuesday onwards, and hope to get that final 10% locked in the next few weeks. And once we're really happy with the document that we can both endorse, the consultation process with you guys will commence, and I'll ask Adam to talk about that in a minute. But I just wanted to say that because we're 90% and not yet 100%, we're not in a position to go into a lot of detail. I'm sure you understand why that is. There's a little bit of sensitivity and anxiety until it gets finished. But we're both saying to you that we're very optimistic that it will get finished and sooner rather than later. So we're going to work on that basis. And I'm really thrilled that Adam and Jeff and Robert, of course, will be here over the lunch period. So when we finish this update, we'll do a bit of a walkthrough. There'll be an opportunity for you all to chat to Adam and Jeff, meet them personally before they jump back on the plane and go home. So there will be an opportunity to chat, but you understand those parameters around the not quite there yet. So Adam, one of the things that's been really interesting to learn about you is obviously your job covers a huge area, all kinds of different things. You're head of merchandising, so that's massive, includes Greenlife. But actually, you've got Greenlife in your DNA.
I do, and can I start by saying thank you, Joe, for the invitation to be here and to your team. It's a great privilege to be here. What a fantastic event. We've been hearing what a great few days it's been. So my name's Adam, as Joe said. I look after what we call the home and lifestyle area of our offer, if you like. If you think of your local Bunnings store, the half of the nursery of the store that starts with the nursery and outdoor living and painted kitchens and all those things, and of course Greenlife being a pivotal part of that offer that anchors so much of what we do, and customers come to us and build their projects around our fantastic Greenlife offer. Been with Bunnings 28 years, so a long time in Bunnings, but prior to that, my first job, as Joe alluded to, was working on a potting machine at a wholesale nursery near where I grew up in the eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Mixed memories of that potting machine. Technology wasn't what it is these days. You're telling me that. I've seen some pretty sophisticated ones these days at a number of the growers that we work with, but So that's sort of my involvement with Greenlife. It goes back a long way in different ways. My grandparents ran a nursery called Bayswater Nursery in Melbourne many years ago. My dad ran that nursery for a while. He ran a nursery called Cottage Nursery up in Albury on the border for a long time, and my uncle's a nurseryman as well. So it's in the blood. I'm a green thumb as well. I love gardening. So it's been fascinating to learn about this industry over the last 12 months, and it's been a real learning curve.
Yeah, no, Adam said many times, obviously he's done a deep dive into the industry as part of these discussions. I'd love you to share what's been the most surprising thing for you about the industry as you've had to learn all the nuts and bolts of it in our dialogue.
It's a great question. I think for me, the complexity of this industry and the passion that is in this industry, it is unique, I think, as an industry. And we're fortunate to work in different industries, whether it's in the paint industry or joinery or timber or whatever it might be. But I think in Greenlife, it's more than just producing things to sell. There's a real passion there, but so much variety in terms of the different supply partners that we deal with in our business, from some pretty small businesses, literally small family businesses, through to some really large sophisticated operations, and love that variety. And we've really enjoyed getting to know a lot of our suppliers across that sort of that spectrum, but every one of them across that spectrum are really, really important because they bring to us the variety of offer that is so important for us and our customers, and the quality of the offer. Everyone plays a role, and it's really, really important. Yeah.
Adam, thank you. So let's talk about this document. I'm not sure it has an official title yet. Document, statement of principles, whatever we want to call it, will get a title by the time you all see it. And can you just, for the benefit of lots of your suppliers in the room, just give us your view about the shape of it and what will happen once we've landed at that 100% point?
Absolutely. I think it's, as you've said, Joe, it's been something we've been talking about and working on for a long time, and it's certainly it's going to be a great thing for the industry in terms of really the principles and ways of working that are important to all of us as stakeholders in this industry, and important to the sustainability of the industry as well. We've had, particularly over the last 12 months, so it's not just that period, but sort of intensifying over the last 12 months, really good and clear feedback for our business around how we operate in the industry, what works well, what doesn't work so well, where we can do better. We're not perfect, and we know that there's always things that we can improve on. So we've had different forums, at our offices and at different venues around the country. We've had well over 150 meetings just to seek feedback with different growers and groups and the state bodies, which has been fantastic. So we've learnt a huge amount, and we've done a lot, making a lot of changes, but there's more to do as well. And so that's kind of the background to the document that we're working on. And as you say, we're just about there with something that I think we'll all be really proud of, as something that reflects the conversations, reflects how we like to engage with one another as the business that we are with your team and with the growers. And it's I think it'll be great. We are just about there, but it's really about the principles and ways of working, the things that are important, how we engage with one another, the kinds of things that are important, to the growers that we deal with, and really just making sure we're addressing some of those issues and the feedback that we've had. So I think it'll be a great thing. Yeah. So
do we. Now, as you would imagine, 12 months ago when I first met Adam and his colleagues, it's always been very professional and friendly, but I think it's fair to say we were some distance apart on how we saw the world. We're much closer now. But one thing that actually we've been in agreement about since we decided to work on this solution together is the importance of industry consultation. There's no gap between us there at all. I'm really pleased that Bunnings is deeply committed to that step, as are we. And as you've heard me say many times, what we're creating here is not a GIA document, and I think Adam will attest it's not a Bunnings document either. It's your document at the end of the day. So what's going to happen once we land on 100%, and we're very confident we will, is that the consultation process will start, and I'm going to get Adam to talk you through that in a minute. But just to be crystal clear, this is something we will put to you that we feel we can endorse together, but it doesn't mean your views don't count. On the contrary, they are the most important part of this process. So really the important part happens next. And Adam, I'm sure everyone would love to hear from you how you envisage the consultation happening.
Absolutely. So we as you say, Joe, so just about there, and we'll, over the next week or so, finalise that draft document, and the intent is within the next fortnight to have something to circulate for that feedback. That will be facilitated by a third-party organisation called Communication Link that we've been working with to distribute the document and get the feedback from all of you around what you see there and how you feel about what you read in the document, if there's anything you'd like to see more of or less of or anything like that. So that feedback will be fundamental to finalising that document and putting it in place, that so we can all sort of move on from what's been a really good process. So I would really encourage you for the suppliers to Bunnings in the room, and really, you know, that feedback is just so important. Please give us your feedback and your thoughts, and we'd love to hear it. And we hope that when you see that, you'll see reflected in that document a lot of the feedback that you have provided to us over that 12 months. So it'll be great to get it out there. It's been an arduous process, but a really important
arduous?
one.
I thought you'd enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. Come on, Adam, you've enjoyed it.
Yeah. It's been good. It's been a great sort of constructive process, and you know, we've learned so much. I've learned more than I ever thought I would, but more to learn as well. But it's been great. So it'll be good to get the document out there and get that feedback so we can put it into place.
Yeah. And although Adam said 2 weeks, which allows me no recovery time from this conference, really, we do think that will commence soon. And
you said this conference has been a breeze.
I did not. I told you the truth. So yeah, next couple of weeks. And again, you've heard from Adam, you've heard from me. We have no preformed ideas about what will happen. We're looking for themes. We're looking for frank and fearless. We're looking for what on earth were you thinking of that doesn't make sense. And then we are open to what we do with that information. So this is not a baked cake. I can't emphasise that enough. And over to you is the next step once we've finished. So that's really important. And as I say, we're completely aligned on that principle. Now, a couple of things I want to move to now. I think you've all seen a lot more of Bunnings in the last 12 months, and you really like that. So bravo. We like the extra engagement. That's working really well for our stakeholders. You'll all be aware, I think, of a very recent announcement that Bunnings made about a new Greenlife grants program worth $1 million over 5 years, so a nice chunky sum. That's only just been announced. I don't know if that has a proper name yet either.
Not yet.
We're really, creating all this as we go. But I just wanted to give Adam an opportunity to tell you a bit more about that, and to give you guys, after he's talked about it, an opportunity to ask questions about how it might work in practice. Obviously, fantastic for growers, so tell us a bit more about what you have in mind there.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It's the grants program, and you may have heard about it, is really, you know, an acknowledgement of we know there is a need across the industry for some to have access to funds in support of learning and perhaps an education and access to experts, just in terms of helping to run your business. So we saw a need for that. We've seen this done in other industries and felt that our role as a key player in this industry was to offer that. And it's really exciting to be announcing that. We'll have more detail over the next couple of weeks. But as Joe alluded to, $1 million over 5 years to be put towards grants. As I say, so for things like training and education, but also for things if there's hardship, if a business is in some financial hardship and there's a need for some support, or if there's a crisis, there might have been a natural disaster or something like that where there's a need for more urgent help as well. So there will be a process to apply for those grants, and the detail of that is just being finalised now. There'll be a note that will go out, as I say, over the next few weeks. But it's not longer than that. It's not a long process. We're just about ready to have that detail out. But we think it'll be great. We absolutely appreciate and see the need for a sustainable Greenlife industry into the future. I think this is a really important step to support that where there is a need for some extra help from time to time. So I think it's a great initiative.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fantastic. And look, I'm going to throw to the floor now. Anyone want to take this opportunity to ask Adam while he's here about how that program is going to work?
I'll take the mic. Does anyone have a question?
Question? Thanks for coming.
I can tell a joke.
Well, someone has a question, I'm sure.
Adam, great you're here. It's challenging times, I think, for large business in that, just for declaration, I work for a corporation which is worth 10 billion US turnover, so smaller than your business, but still a sizable business. And larger businesses are finding it challenging because of pressure, I suppose. And I suppose I just asked the question, politically, large businesses do have power. And in particular, the mood is changing in the world to perhaps equalising that power. And certainly you hear a lot from, in particular at the moment, the opposition for breaking up large businesses. How do you guys just see that, in that it's a real challenge? I mean, you're an incredibly successful business, and for most of us in this room, we've watched you grow with great interest over the years, and certainly in the years I've been in the nursery industry, I've been through 5 or 6 different iterations of your business. I just wonder, how do you see that and the extra pressure that puts on your business?
Thank you for the question. I guess from my point of view, it's not, it's for others to determine government policy on these sorts of things, and for our business as a whole to determine our position. I guess what I would say is, we're conscious of our role as a participant, and a significant one in the industry, and again linked to the things we're talking about, how we operate in that industry, and it's hence all of these conversations and all of the work that's gone on. So I think for us, and certainly for me in my role and the team that I lead in merchandising and running the Greenlife offer that we have, is really just making sure that we're doing that in a sustainable way, and in a way that works for all stakeholders, again, in line with these things that we've been talking about. So, in terms of government policy and direction there, it's probably not for me to offer a view on, to be honest with you, but our focus is really on how we engage with the industry in the right way going forward.
Hello, Adam.
Money.
Just in terms of the grant and how that's going to work, is that going to be is done through the website? Is there applications through there? Just to talk through that,
Yeah. Thank you for the question. There is more detail to come. There'll be a committee of people, some of whom would be from within our business, and some would be independent in terms of assessing applications that come through, and then a determination made on the application and what goes from there. In terms of the mechanics of website detail, I don't have all of that yet, just being finalised, and that will be shared shortly. So, but having that committee to make those assessments and being really clear, we're super conscious of simplicity here, and not having a drawn out. If you're in a situation where you need that support, whether it's funding for training or education, or if there's a situation of hardship of some kind, the last thing you need is red tape and paperwork. And so it needs to be a simple, accessible process that we'll talk about, as I say, shortly, and then making those decisions quickly. And I alluded to, if it's in the case of something like a natural disaster or something like that, very quickly. Time is of the essence, of course. So, so that still just finalising the detail on that, and as I say, we'll have that to share shortly.
Hey Adam,
Hey, Matt.
thanks for coming.
Good to see you.
Moving past all the issues here, what does growth for horticulture look like for you? We've got a new buyer. What does it look like? What's the opportunities going forward?
It's a great question. I guess thinking about how would I answer that, I think for us, from my perspective and our perspective, and you're right, we've got a new buyer coming into our team, and that was a really, his name is Ash Macon. He's a long-term member of our team, a fantastic buyer, and really deliberate in that appointment for the way in which he engages. It's EQ as well as IQ, and as you know, and having the way in which we engage with the empathy of understanding each other's businesses and all the different concerns and considerations. So really important appointment with Ash coming on board into that role, and he'll be on board from the next couple of weeks. But to your point around what's important, I guess it's I've touched on the sustainability element, which is obviously really important, and mindful of the challenges that are happening in some businesses around succession and remaining sustainable into the future. Also the innovation as well, and that's really important. How do we, and it's remaining relevant to our customers, making sure the offer remains strong so people continue to choose us and to come in and to shop our nurseries. So I guess they're the big things, keeping evolving, understanding what's going on locally and globally, trends, and what are the efficiencies that we can look at, and again. One of the big shifts we've been talking about is we put a lot more resource into our team. So our buyers, our state buyers, who are really the heart and soul of our Greenlife team, can be out and about more. None of them signed up to do spreadsheets all day long, but that's important work. So we're giving them more resource to help with that kind of thing and get them out of the office on the road in your nursery, in our nursery. To have those conversations and to learn more and spend time more and that resource is mostly in place, one more role to fill, but that we're really hoping to see that ramp up. So more engagement, more view on the future and innovation and collaboration, but really mindful of the sustainability element and the growth of this amazing industry. So off the top of my head, just think there's some of the key things we've been thinking about. Hope that sort of answers where we're headed. Thanks, mate.
Oh, you're always in the rows that are the furthest away from me. I'm getting my steps up. Before you ask a question, I'm going to ask you to introduce who you are and where you're from.
So, David Jacobs from Oasis, and great to see you here. It's
good to see you.
Fantastic. Yeah. Just a question, and maybe adjacency to what we're talking about in reference to whatever this document is called, but you're a large employer of staff that are horticulturally facing. The industry's got a lot of challenges around retention, attraction, and or development of staff. Can you give the audience a broader context of what you're doing in L&D within Bunnings to address some of those issues and how you are now collaborating with stakeholders, and we're part of that, in that L&D program?
Yeah, look, it's fundamental, and it's one of those things that I would say is key across our business in different parts, but absolutely in Greenlife. And as we all know, having that skill set and capability in the nursery is key to not only to a well-run nursery, but to a good customer experience as well. And the reality is we've got some, really knowledgeable, experienced team in some stores and some newer, fresher faces in other stores. And so the L&D program that we have, there's a number of different programs that we have, fundamentals type programs and some more specialist training that we do is key to that. So it's one thing to put those in place, it's another thing to get them, get the participation and the engagement going. So that's a constant push. And you've got churn of team, of course, someone that I've worked in now, a nursery out at Bunnings, Croydon for a few years, people come and go into roles, might leave the business, might leave that department. So that's a constant upkeep of that knowledge, if you like. And then absolutely in terms of supplier engagement, we've been thinking about how do we get more of our team into our growers' nurseries more, and that's a work in progress. That happens to an extent, but I think there's an opportunity to do a lot more of that. So that sort of immersion into the nurseries to see where the plants come from, and that I think for a lot of them have no visibility of that. So, but I would say that for us, there's more to do in that space. We've got a great L&D team, and we've got to keep pushing it. Yeah.
Hi, Malcolm Thompson,
Yeah,
Colourwise. How are you? Just a quick one. The last, I guess, 12 months, we've had a couple of 2 or 3 now supplier and senior management meetings, which have been fantastic.
Right.
Prior to that, for a long period, we never had access. I guess there was, some of the guys had access to yourself or Mike or Cam Rist or Ryan Baker.
Yep.
Will we have more regular contact with the management committee on? We got a sense before that there were senior management, some of the things that were discussed in those meetings were fresh information to some of the senior management guys. It's like, and that there wasn't all the information wasn't flowing to the senior management of the firm. But those meetings have certainly, I think a lot of us feel far more informed and far more in touch and feel a bit better about our partnership with the business now.
Yeah, thanks for the question, Malcolm. I think 100%. And in terms of certainly the last sort of 12, 18 months and everything that's been going on and the forums, if you think back to the one that we had in Melbourne in April of last year, just fantastic and really important because it's really important to have that engagement and awareness of what's going on right to the top of our business. And I think we've seen that, right up to and including Mike, that engagement is really, that interest and engagement and genuine, want to get more involved, to learn more is been great. And I think, that's you're right, that's improved a lot. And we're all learning a lot as a result of that. And it's important because you never want a situation where beyond the immediate contact that you're not sure who to talk to. And I think we've been very much at pains to point out who those contact points are. Here's their emails, phone numbers. We put them up on slides and things. And because we encourage, of course, that buyer relationship is really important, but also there's other people to talk to, and that's, I think you're right. That's gotten a lot better, and that's now. That's how it should be, right? So that's the way it'll remain as well. And I think, whether it's Cam or I report to into Ryan Baker, into Mike Schneider, there's a real genuine, engagement now. And it was always there, but I think perhaps more concentration on those buyer type relationships, and now it's more multi-level engagement, which has been fantastic because the visibility and of issues and questions and concerns is far greater. It's been really good.
Thanks, Jordan. This very bossy screen is telling us we're over time, and I know Adam and Jeff have to be on a plane, but they do want to stay for lunch, so to have a chance to chat to you. So I think we should wind things up now because they would probably keep you here all afternoon if they had the chance. I just wanted to finish by saying, in the same way that Adam and I have got to know each other quite well over this process, I've also got to know Adam's ultimate boss, Mike Schneider, quite well, and I don't think he'll mind me quoting him. What we're doing is pretty groundbreaking for GIA. We've never done anything this significant before, and Mike has also said in very clear language that it's pretty groundbreaking for Bunnings. So we're both moving into this space which is new and serious and committed and big. And I just want to say that I am, although it's not been straightforward for either of our organisations, I am really confident that this will be a lasting change and that you will all feel the benefits of that. I'm sure it will need tweaking and refining and so on as we go through. But Bunnings have made it very clear that this isn't a gesture for now. It's a commitment that will last into the future. And really, what better theme could there be? Our conference theme is Stronger Together. So we really feel to have that symbolised in this way is hugely meaningful and significant, and we're very pleased. So thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for the engagement. It's been fantastic.
So Adam and Jeff are going to have a little stroll through, visit you all on your stands, shake their hands, come and say hi, ask them more burning questions, not too many, they've got planes. But thank you very much for coming at short notice.
Thanks, Jo.
We appreciate it. Jeff, thank you. And Robert, as always, thank you. So we'll see you all out there for lunch.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much, Adam and Jo. We'll be back.